What's up guys, welcome to the episode 2 of The Cut. Trying to get leaner and faster, so I'm going to take you guys through that. But how I start my morning, since I didn't include this in the last video, today's going to be a grocery haul. But before we go to the grocery store, before we train, before we run and lift, I like to get in sodium and my micronutrients, which are my reds and my greens. But I get in sodium because essentially overnight you're not drinking water, just like you're not eating. So the best way to replenish your hydration is to consume some sodium, drink some water, which are electrolytes, which is gonna hold that water in your muscles and help you perform. So I'm gonna see you guys on the run. Today we got 5 miles. Right now we're doing 5 miles a day. It's a bad day to be smart. So we're gonna throw this back and I'll catch you guys out there. Probably gonna need a little cup of Joe coffee and yeah, hit a new low weigh-in as you guys saw this morning. So we're getting leaner and leaner, but just gonna keep documenting it. Gonna try and get some more videos out and just keep you guys updated. I hope you guys are going the process with me, and yeah, gonna be a good time. So let's start the day. Boom, 7 miles, chill, 8 minutes and 26-minute per mile pace. Oh yeah. All right, so post run, you know I like to share my run thoughts, and if this just helps somebody out there, that's why I do this shit. So this is what helps me. You know, you see all this shit online about, oh, this is the perfect 5 habits to, you know, developing a mindset of successful people, all that stuff. I don't really resonate with any of that. But what I do is stuff that I learned from reading books and also that I put to test, for example, running my 100-mile race. And this is the biggest thing that has changed my life. And it's what I was thinking about on my run is you win and lose in life, not by minutes, not by days, not by hours, not by years, but you lose by seconds, or you win in seconds. So let me explain this to you. So during my 100-mile race, here's an example. There was a point in many times of the race where it would take a second for me to quit when my legs stopped working at mile 40 and I had 60 more miles to go. It would take a second, that easy second, to say, I'm done. I'm done. This is too hard. But that 1 second would change the trajectory of my life. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I would not have got this tattoo that I'm proud of. I would not have been able to tell my kids one day or tell myself that I did something really hard and I could teach those lessons. I wouldn't have learned them because I quit in a second. And it takes seconds sometimes to realize and to fight and to let that urge or that weakness pass, and then you're come out stronger, and those seconds go by and it gets easier. For mile 40 I started kicking ass again, eventually went to shit again. But the point is when it did come to creep back in those low points, those seconds matter. Making the right decision based upon who you want to be. Same with diet. Seconds matter. You know, even though I am fit, if you would say, I feel like it marshmallow, to be honest, but even though I am fit right now, I still get the urge now that I'm cutting to indulge, but it comes in seconds of that decision. The seconds to go off your diet, the seconds to go out and eat a bunch of shit, those seconds will change the trajectory of your life. I'm not being dramatic, it will. The person you want to be comes down to those seconds, that decision. You don't indulge in that craving, that hunger, that goes away. You don't live with those cravings. I think that's why weight loss can be hard, right? Because it seems powerful, it seems primal, and fucking you feel it, right? I feel it, but it's those seconds that you have to let it pass, and then you realize I'm good, and then you teach yourself not to just give into those hard times. And then you just slowly build that mindset of resilience. So remember, even on a run, it gets hard, you want to quit, just give yourself seconds, fight in the seconds, and then that'll pass. And then you'll be proud, and then you'll learn lessons, and then life will get better. All this highly successful morning routines, all this shit, like, it comes down to seconds in life. Like, as cliche as it sounds, like, you don't have to be conscious of every second, obviously, but you have to be conscious of the seconds where you want to quit on something that matters to you. And it's not a conscious decision, it's an impulsive decision. And you have to win those impulsive decisions because you always regret it, right? If it goes against what you want, you always regret it. I'm just being real. But yeah, enough with that. We're gonna go have some lunch and then a weight train, grocery haul. Solid 7 miles though. Yeah. right, so post run we have our protein coffee right here. So essentially this is just 1 scoop of whey protein, 1 cup of almond milk. Now you mix it separately just so like it doesn't clump together. Then you add in the coffee. Today was cold brew, and yeah, I just have this until, so this is like the only thing I eat before I eat my first meal, which is around 12 or 1 o'clock. So this essentially just allows me to stay caffeinated, which is a great time. I like my caffeine, I like my coffee, so it's something I enjoy, and then I get my protein in to push off maybe some hunger that I experienced the first half of the day. Yes, this isn't called fasting, I call it protein leveraging, utilizing protein to leverage and push back some hunger. Also, post-run, it's a great way to recover, so that's why I have my protein coffee. This is essentially, I want to call this the protein coffee diet, because this is kind of how it is. It's just protein coffee after my run or after my workout in the morning. Convenient, I don't have to think about anything. It works for me when I travel, and then I eat my first meal whenever I can, normally around like 12 or 1 o'clock, like I said. And then I have my meals after that, obviously, but it allows me, like I said, to recover from my workout in the morning, and also just like not think too much about food, not like spike my blood sugar and have a crash. Keeps me like my energy levels consistent. So yeah, bad day to be a coffee. Also gets the bowel movements going. I don't know the science behind it, but it's crazy. Keeps you regular for sure. All right, so post run, what we got here is 250 grams of egg whites, 2 eggs, 1 Starkist tuna pack, some spinach, some minced onion, and then we have feta cheese, low fat feta cheese on some 647 bagels, which are high in fiber, low in calories, and then we have some tuna packets on here. And yeah, this is like my go-to meal, keeping things the same so I don't have to track every meal. I'm just keeping it consistent, and yeah, that's that. So gonna dive in. One thing I do is I put this popcorn cheddar seasoning or white cheddar on, and it tastes amazing, makes the meals taste even better. So that's like the little topping on top of here, and yeah, this is one of my favorite meals. So post run, after the protein coffee, high in protein, a little bit of carbs to replenish, but this is what I enjoy. So I'm gonna dig in, and I'll see you guys at the grocery store and the gym. Before we go to the gym, I'm gonna show you guys what we got for the pre-workout concoction. Wow, I just butchered that word. But right here we got mango flight, and we got some pump. So essentially what the pump does, helps get blood to the muscle, and overall just feels amazing. It's a great time. And then the flight is the caffeine. Now the thing with pre-workout, kind of just want to break down, like I know everybody kind of gets in their head, or at least I do, about my caffeine consumption. What I like to do is if I have more than 1 coffee, like today I had 2. I had 1 before the run and then 1 after in the protein. So I'll only do a half a scoop of flight. But if I don't have 2 coffees and I only have 1, which a coffee is like 80 milligrams of caffeine, I'll do a full scoop of pre-workout. So we're doing half scoop of pre and then a full scoop of endo pump. And yeah, that's the stack. Let's send it. Bad day to be awake. Catch you guys at the gym. right, now here's the thing. A lot of people, they want to know, like, what is the good training routine? What is the workout, the exercises that are going to get me like the most muscle mass? Now here's the thing, you know, you guys saw I did, you know, some variations of chest flies and some incline press, but that's not the message here. The message here is I enjoy doing that. I love chest flies. I love incline dumbbell press. I love incline Smith machine press. I love the way it feels. Is that optimal, doing 2 incline press and then a chest fly? I don't know. Works for me. Optimal for me. But at the end of the day, I enjoy doing it, right? So if you're going in the gym and you're constantly worried about, like, you know, is this the best exercise, or is this, you know, should I be doing this even though I don't like it? The moral of the story and the reality of training is, like, this shit should be fun. Also, like, what's the point in going to the gym and doing something you hate and not pushing yourself as much? Whereas if you just did an exercise that maybe isn't as optimal as someone would say, but you enjoy it, so you can push harder in it, which means you get better gains. I believe that whole optimal shit is BS. Same with like the whole, you know, a perfect diet. Like, I don't think any of that shit's, like, any of it is true. None of it. I really don't. I think the thing that works is the thing that you can do the most consistently. So, you know, say, you know, freaking carnivore diet works for you, even though, like, odds are it won't. If it works for you, do it. If, you know, a certain training routine works for you and you enjoy it, do it. If the diet works for you and you get results, do it. But the thing is like, insanity is when you do something and you don't get results and you keep doing it and you don't understand why you're not getting results. That's the pure definition of being stagnant and just being insanity, not being conscious of, like, your decisions. So, like, the thing is if you don't see results doing something and you enjoy it, what you should do is just change it up to the point where you start seeing results and you still enjoy it, and then move forward and continue doing it. And it's one of those things is, like, people will be having success and then they're, like, looking to change something, and it's like, you shouldn't change something if it's not broke. You shouldn't change something if it's going well. You only change something if you're, you know, stagnant and you're not happy with where you're at. If you're having fun and you're training hard and you're enjoying what you're doing, like, there's no reason to change unless you're not making progress. And even then, it's like, it might be incremental to the point where, like, why not just have fun, enjoy what you're doing, you know? So it's just is like, you know, in social media, you see all this shit, and, like, for me, it's just, it drives me nuts. Also, too, I'm, like, sitting in my damn truck and, like, it's hot in here. It's really hot. I use this as a sauna. Is it expensive? Is this truck an expensive sauna? Yeah, but it also gets me places to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm sitting in the sauna, in the truck sauna, baking my butt off right now. I'm getting the same benefit as somebody that would pay $1,000 to sit in their little wooden sauna. Just kidding. I actually want one of those, but I sit in my truck sometimes to get the water out, flush out the body. But overall, yeah, I just want to say, like, literally, if you're training and you're not seeing results and you enjoy what you're doing, just try to tweak a few things and just keep tweaking and tweaking until you see changes. But don't keep doing the same thing if you obviously don't see changes. Just tweak it. And then if you're worried about being optimal, if you're worried about being perfect, life isn't perfect, you're not perfect, I'm not perfect. Do what makes you happy and do it to get results as well. But at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. So for me, that's what I do. And I get results because I train hard and I enjoy it, rather than doing something I don't enjoy. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be consistent. So consistency, happiness, and sustainability is the key to all of this shit. So yeah, man, the sauna truck is heating up. Oh my gosh. All right, before I die, go to the grocery store, show you guys what I get at the grocery store. Wow. And this might be the hottest sauna truck I've had in a while. Okay, I'll see you guys at the grocery store. Peace. All right, so back from the gym. I'm gonna show you guys everything I get at the grocery haul. Now, keep in mind, this is what works for me. I always like to say that because you don't have to mimic it. Do whatever works for you, but this is just a good idea of maybe like what you could put your diet around, like the key ingredients. Like when I shop too, I shop mostly around the outside of the grocery store, because the inside of the grocery store has all the higher, like, calorie palatable food, which if they were in here, I would eat a lot of them. So I just don't shop and buy it. It's an easy way to, like, bridge that gap, so you don't need the willpower to, when you open your cabinet and you see all this candy, like, obviously it's gonna be harder to resist, where if it's like at the grocery store and you don't buy it, super easy. So I'm gonna show you guys what I buy at the grocery store. I do go in the devil aisles, but anything in moderation is okay. But I buy still things that I'm not gonna overeat. So I'll show you guys that, low calorie bagels and such. But yeah, we got the wisdom teeth girl back there. She got her wisdom teeth out, so she's in a calorie deficit for sure. Since she can't eat, kind of need that for myself. Anyways, let's get into the video. Alright, so this is everything I get at the grocery store now. Obviously some stuff I didn't get today, but I have it out here. So let's explain kind of what I was talking about earlier. So when you shop the outer sections of the grocery store, that's where the fresh and whole foods are normally, like 99% of the time. So with that being said, like 90% of this comes from there and like 10% doesn't, which is gonna be still good food, but it's a little processed. And the only thing that I really eat that's like that is this 647 plain bread, or I mean bagels. Sometimes I'll get the bread. Sometimes I'll just get like Dave's Killer Bread or just any type of bread. I think bread's fine, as long as you're doing it in moderation and whatnot. And also, like, you don't want to demonize any food. Like this is just something I enjoy, so I include it. It's like the whole 80-20 or 90-10, however you want to make up your diet of 90% whole foods and 10% a little bit of freedom or whatnot. And then the other thing I buy in the middle of the store is tuna packets. These are obviously processed, but they taste good, high in protein, good macros. And then, I mean, this is just cheaper than getting like the fresh vegetables, and I think it's just as good in my opinion. It's literally just carrots and green beans. So these are like the vegetables I get. And then we'll go into like the slightly more processed stuff, which is like fat-free feta cheese, which is really good for me. Like I said, it keep a good sense of staying on the diet, but also enjoying it. And then also we'll have our diet soda as well. And then pretty much everything else is whole food. So we'll go down the stretch of things. So avocados for the fat sources, frozen strawberries and blueberries, and then we have some ground venison. Now I do get 90% lean, 93% lean, or this is 5% lean. So venison's a little leaner, but yeah, I like to stick to leaner meats and then fill the fats in with avocados, eggs, etc. So yeah. Next we have salmon. I like to have salmon once or twice a week. Brittany and I have been on a big salmon kick just because it's like, switch it up, like beef gets old after a while. You know, honestly, you don't see chicken in here, and it's because I really don't eat a lot of chicken anymore. Just because I feel like I get more out of beef, it satiates me more, it tastes better. I just don't have to add as much shit to it. Like when I have chicken breast, I'll add yogurt to it and make like a buffalo chicken dip every now and again, which is good, but like I don't know, I hate that I have to add something to it to make it taste good. Maybe that's just me being soft about it, but I don't know, chicken gets old, so beef is always a staple for mine, eggs, and then salmon, you know, once or twice a week. Then we have some eggs, as I mentioned, and then we have some plain Greek yogurt. This is fige. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's fige. Very, very good for you. Macros on it are crazy. 90 calories, 18 grams of protein, and only 5 grams of carbs. And then here we have potatoes, almond milk, egg whites, and then I'll have rice on occasion if I'm like putting out big efforts. I'll have rice instead of potatoes, or if I'm just simply getting tired of potatoes. Now, this is my diet when I'm bulking or maintaining or cutting, and I do this because it's just so easy to stay lean on and it tastes good. I'll add seasonings to this to make it spice it up a little bit, no pun intended. But it's sustainable for me and it keeps me on track and makes me feel great. But one of those things is like I'll utilize different carb sources that depending on my goal. Like when I move back into a maintenance period, I'll add in some more honey, I'll add in some oats. But when I'm, you know, pushing and trying to get leaner and whatnot, I'll just pull back on the certain food groups that I tend to enjoy more. So that way, I ensure that I'm in a deficit. And honestly, like I track most of the time, but like I said, I eat the same meals, I eat the same foods. It's just so easy to stay lean eating this way because you're not trying to like fill a certain void in your diet. Like I feel like it has a lot of micronutrients. It has a little bit of freedom in there. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of dark chocolate if I'm really in the sweet tooth. But overall, like I don't really feel like the need to eat anything else or overeat after this point. So yeah, pretty much this is it. Got the fish, the eggs, beef, and then the potatoes, the rice. I don't know what kind of diet to call this other than it's high in protein and I almost said protein, but high in protein and moderate fat moderate carb, and you know, it just works for me. So yeah, that's that. And like, honestly, I'm not suggesting this, but if you already know around about how many calories you eat and you don't want to track, if you stick to like whole foods like this, like the odds of you overeating is very slim. You're gonna overeat when you add like the peanut butter, the honey, and all that other shit. You just start making a bunch of late night bowls like I've done myself plenty of times. Or if you just simply like, you know, go out to eat and have whatever you want, like obviously you're gonna be eating more than you would if you ate this for dinner. So yeah, like this is just allows me the more freedom mentally to not be on my phone all the time with tracking, and it helps me like maintain this for life, honestly. Like obviously I'll swap some things out, like they say I don't want the bagels, I'll swap the bring bread in, or say I want, you know, something different other than tuna on my bagels. I'll do maybe like jelly, sugar-free jelly, or I'll do eggs on my bagel, or guac. You know, it's just like swapping out healthier options. But these are like the core, and then I'll add or take some things away based upon my goal. But yeah, nothing crazy, just simple and sustainable. That's the grocery haul, and catch you guys for dinner.